So no-fault divorce in America is a big thing. It's a horrible issue. And the reason why this issue is horrible because you literally can do a hustle if you're a woman against a man. And because a lot of the laws, the family court laws, are slanted towards women when they could take 50% of a man's income. This is why a lot of men have opted out of marriage in the Western world. But in Kenya, in the motherland, East Africa, they was having that same problem as well. But Kenya decided to do something about it. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Kenya has abolished 50% divorce settlements for women, and here is why. First of all, the idea of splitting a man's matrimonial property with a woman has been proven to be problematic, specifically in the Western countries where divorce is incentivized. Meanwhile, it's becoming popular in certain liberal African countries. A woman marries a man for a couple of years and make a few babies with him, and the next thing you know is she's filing for a divorce. And she's doing this seeking 50% of the man's wealth. And so a 5-man Supreme Court judges in Kenya considered all that's involved in these situations and voted unanimously in favor of amending that law, which President Ruto has signed into law since last year. The new law provides settlement for the lady based on either the financial contributions she's put into their marriage or a certain percentage is allocated to her based on their number of kids, their ages, and also because she provided a conducive home for the husband to live and thrive. I love women, don't get me wrong, and I will never wish bad for them. But the rate of divorce and the reasons behind why the women are quick to file for divorce are getting absurd, ladies and gentlemen. It's clear that in many cases the women wouldn't have married the guy if not for the man's money. But we cannot reward that with half of the man's hard-earned wealth when the lady decides to walk away. And in line with that, I think what the Nigerian novelist wrote is totally true. Eneke the bird says that since men have learned to shoot without missing, he has learned to fly without perching. End of quote. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for every man to be aware of the times and the trends. Don't be charmed by beauty, for it won't last. Find a woman who isn't carried away by money and easily manipulated by the trends of friends.
Well, let me give a shout out to Kenya. Let me give a shout out to Kenya for that, because that same law need to be put into the United States and anywhere else in the Western world. If you come into the marriage and you just want to leave and the man didn't do anything to you like that, he wasn't beating on you, he wasn't cheating on you, he wasn't doing nothing wrong to you, just because I don't want to be with you no more. You should not be able to take everything, taking half of that man's retirement. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. I'm not saying that a woman shouldn't be able to leave if she wants to, because listen, you don't want no woman to be around you that don't want to be. She can go do what she got to do. But she shouldn't be taking half of your possessions with her. I mean, you think about it. You got women in the United States of America that still want to live off of their husbands, their ex-husbands, whether it's child support, whether it's alimony. Like, listen, you the one left. Why the man should be paying you all this money and you left? That's what I don't understand. You left. You're not his wife anymore. When you was his wife, then that's different. But you're not his wife. So you can lay up with another man, but you sitting up here telling the court that your ex-husband should be paying for you? No. But Kenya did the right thing, because the same thing in the Western world was happening in Kenya. Men were saying, nah, bro, I'm not marrying these women. For what? So she can take everything I work for? I'm cool. That's why marriage is in the tank across the board in all communities in America. But for sure, it's very low in the Black American community. We need to get together and build families, because without families, you don't have a community. But these laws need to be rescinded. Now, I don't really get into too much politics on this channel, but I've heard, people of let's say the Republican Party was saying that they wanted to look at those no-fault divorce laws and make some changes. And they need to. They need to change that, because you're going to have marriage tank even lower. Because, think about it. Men take the most risk when they're getting married underneath these laws. So if they're going to take the most risk, or at least say, okay, we want to make sure that they're not put into the poorhouse if that woman decides to leave. And we know the majority of marriages end because women leave, not men. Once again, I'm not saying that a woman should be held there if she don't want to be there. Let her go on about her business. But you just go on with your business, whatever you work for and whatever you bought, that's fine. But a man should not lose half his possessions. So shout out to Kenya for that. They're thinking about the sanctity and actually families in their nation.